Hey guys, we are back with another new video, and this one is all about raising up new leaders. We all know that you're only in college for 4 years, sometimes more, but eventually you have to leave and you can't be a Delight leader forever. Sad. We wish everybody could be one forever. But one day you're gonna have to graduate and leave college, and you're gonna wanna have other leaders who are younger than you who can replace you and fill the role that you've left behind. So this video is gonna walk you through the process of building up new leaders, how to find them, how to pick them, and then how to encourage them and walk them through the leadership transitions. So get your pens and paper out and take notes, because this is a really important video, and let's do this.
The first step in building up new leaders is by creating an application. So for the longest time, we've kind of gone back and forth on like the best way to raise up new leaders. We've seen some chapters actually like handpick who they think like the next best Delight leader should be, and then other times we've seen chapters create an application. And just through our observation, we've kind of found that the application is the best way to go about it. Simply because you will find the people who like actually want to be leaders and who have the time for it and who have been craving a leadership position. So by creating an application, you're gonna find those people, and that's really what you want, is the people that are passionate and that are willing to fully step into it. So you can create the application however you want. I wouldn't make it too extensive, but you also don't want to make it too short where anybody and everybody can do it. You can do this over Google form or a written form, whatever you guys want to do, but just come up with a cute, fun, creative application. You'll also want to make a couple announcements about this, maybe towards the end of the semester, so that people can apply.
So once you've received all the applications, you're going to want to meet together as a leadership team and start kind of sifting through all of the different applications. There are a couple of key things that you want to look for as you're looking through all of the different applications. First off, maybe you have a gap in your leadership team. Maybe you need a specific role to be filled, and you'll want to pull out the applications for people who would really fit that role well. So maybe you need a worship leader, or you need somebody who's really great at social media. Whatever it is, look for people who can fill those gaps that you really need filled on your team. Secondly, you're going to want to look for diversity. Is your whole team made up of all juniors? Is your whole team made up of all people who look the same and are from the same clubs and from the same organizations? It's really important that your team is diverse, and it's something that you're going to have to be intentional of every single step of the way. So look for diversity as you're going through all of these applications. And then the last thing that you're going to want to look for is people who are just passionate about it. I think as you read the applications, you'll see people who really put a lot of effort into it, and those are people that you'll want to, pull to the side and star. And then you'll see people that apply for the position, and they're the ones who were at every single Delight meeting and every single community event. And pay attention to that, because those are people who are already committed and already love Delight, and they're probably going to be committed to Delight for the rest of their time in college, so they probably make an awesome and great devoted leader.
If you feel like your Delight chapter is a bit small, or maybe just the application process isn't going to work for you, maybe you just discussed this with your leadership team and it's not really possible, that's okay. You can still pick those leaders, and that will work out just fine. You might know in your heart a specific person or two that you really want to pull into leadership, and go ahead and do that. You don't have to go by the application format, but we just found that it's really helpful. After looking through all the applications, you want to all as a team agree upon who you want these next leaders to be. It might take some conversation and prayer around that, but once you choose these people, you will want to sit down with them one-on-one, and it's probably best for just one leader to do this. Maybe it's the team director, just sits down with each one of these new leaders and just kind of lays out their expectations for this leadership position, what it will actually look like, kind of the time commitment, what they expect from them, maybe what they hope their role will be, and just kind of lay it all out there on the table. Give them the opportunity to to even back out and be like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Or maybe it'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, this is exactly what I want to do. Maybe their role will change or whatever it is. But this is your first initial conversation to talk about being a delight leader.
So after this first initial sit down with some of the new leaders, you're gonna wanna follow up and send them a new resource that we have called the Leadership Contract. Over time, we've kind of found that there can be some misconstrued expectations of what it looks like to be a delight leader. So we have just like kind of a basic template for you in the resources page of what a leadership contract can be. But feel free to add things or take away things and make changes to it so that it fits your chapters and your leadership team's kind of leadership environment. But this is a great thing to send to them and have them sign. And basically it just helps to make sure that they know what they're getting into, and it's something that you can refer back to throughout the semester just to make sure that all of your leaders are kind of upholding the standards that you as a leadership team have set. And it can honestly just prevent a lot of things that can come up that can kind of make your team not communicate well or not get along, and it's just something that you're gonna want to do, and it's super important. And then also be sure to invite them to one of your leadership team meetings, maybe at the end of the semester, just so that they can come in and start to meet the leadership team, get to know them, and just see what you guys do behind the scenes. So send them the leadership contract and then invite them to a leadership team meeting.
So after you've had these conversations with your new leaders, you'll want to follow up with anybody who applied and didn't get the position. This can be just hard because they're part of the ministry and they're wanting to be more part of it. So you just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or cause any like bad relationships. So you want to handle this really, really carefully. I would maybe suggest even writing a little note to them just about how thankful you are that they wanted to be a part, and that maybe there's going to be opportunities available in the future. It also might be good for if you feel like it's necessary to sit them down one-on-one and just tell them, just be honest the reason why. Usually they're really like logistical reasons. Maybe they were a junior and you already have 4 juniors, or maybe who knows what the situation is, but sometimes it's just better to be honest with them and tell them the reason why so that they don't assume things. So be sure to follow up with all of those people and maybe even give them opportunities to be involved in other ways.
So the next part of the leadership process is the actual leadership transition. So you've chosen all your new leaders and maybe it's the next semester and you're ready for them to come on board. There's kind of 2 things that you can do here. The first thing that you can do is kind of like a mentorship role where you can split the role. So whoever, maybe if you're the team director and you're having a new team director come in to kind of replace you eventually, maybe it's best if you work alongside of one another. You'll want to be careful not to do all of the work and not let them do anything, but just kind of walk alongside each other in it, share the responsibilities, and the new leader can learn from you as they go. The other way to do it is just to let them do it fully and completely and just be their biggest cheerleader behind the scenes, cheering them on, saying, hey, do you need help? Like, how's it going? Anything like that. Just support them. These new leaders, they're gonna be nervous. They've never done this before, but I think as you show them the ropes and then walk with them and encourage them, then the transition should be pretty smooth and go well. The one thing you don't want to do is just bow out completely and let them take over, and then you never even show up to any of the Delight events or anything like that. As a new leader, that can feel super, just like you're out on your own without a paddle and you have no idea what to do. So just really encourage the new leaders, walk alongside them, and your leadership transition will be flawless.
So that is the process on how to raise up new leaders. So just to summarize, towards the end of the semester, you want to get that application out there. Then you want to meet with your team, pick those leaders. The team director want to meet with those leaders. You need to follow up with the people who didn't get the position. And then hopefully you've got your new leaders on board by the end of the spring semester. But they won't start leading with you until the beginning of the fall semester. So they could either do the shared role or just take the role totally. That's up to you. But I hope that all makes sense. You guys are gonna do so well, And people are creating these leadership opportunities, and this is such a great way for other women to step into their faith further. Being in leadership in college just changes everything. It keeps you more accountable for your faith. It challenges you in new ways. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and we can't wait to meet all of the new leaders.